All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Wherever you're connected from, I hope we're good. We are fine, and you're welcome tonight. Tonight's gonna be phenomenal. And now, of course, gonna be doing a whole lot of things, and so to maximize opportunity, I'm sure all of us are maximizing opportunity in the global financial market. And you agree with me that there is nothing like um, you know, stress if you know what you're doing per time. All right. Now, tonight we're going to be looking at the market and what we're supposed to take advantage of. So, you're welcome to Plan B Express Global Financial Market, weekly market update. It's going to be phenomenal. Now, you can still invite your friends wherever they are, and then so that we can be together in order to maximize this opportunity. All right, that's going to be very nice. So, if you're live, you're with us. If you're live with us, let's go together, everyone. And it's going to be phenomenal. No, everyone, we want to take advantage of the market. The new week is beginning already. And of course, you don't want to miss out of the new week. The new week is amazing. The new week is phenomenal. And to be very candid, you're going to work out strategy for yourself and how to build up opportunity. All right. So invite your friends. So go invite, and invite more. Go ahead and invite more, and then the next 5 minutes we go more proper into the market. So invite more, as more number of persons you can invite. Let them join tonight, and so that we can move together. I hope you loud and clear, everybody. Please, if you're on live sessions, you can hear me. Let's invite more friends, right? Let's invite more friends so that we can be together. Promises to be great tonight, and it's going to be highly phenomenal. All right? Invite your friends. Let's roll together, everybody. Invite your friends, invite your friend, invite your friend, invite your friend. Okay? Invite your friends, and please make sure you like and comment on this session. Like and comment, subscribe, because we're going to be doing a whole lot of live session more over time. And then 2026 going to be more live sessions. So if you want to be part of our inner core, you want to be part of our ecosystem, and then you can always get in contact with your friends, probably invited you to come into the live session. So we have 3, 4 more minutes to go. And so I'm going to be sharing with you what exactly looking at the markets and see what Bitcoin is Maradona. Now, Bitcoin, what it's doing, and good number of people don't understand when we say markets about buying and selling. People are very static to one-sided movement of the market, and they do not understand what it is for the market to behave the way it behaves. So, quite a number of persons to come and ask me, "Hey, are you sure we can build up like this? Is this market not giving us problem?" Because the market is not giving you problem at all. Market is what it is, and then it should behave the way it ought to behave. Okay, so we have 3 more minutes to go. Bye to friends. Invite your friend. We have 3 more minutes to go. 3 more minutes to go because we have to do as quick as possible tonight. Those of you who are on our ecosystem, this like inner court, we meet every night, 1 a.m. to 3, 4 a.m. is your session, and you don't want to miss out on it. And so it's going to be very, very great. Can you agree with me? This week is going to be phenomenal. We're going to be doing a lot this week, so can afford to miss out of. 20. All right, just 2 more minutes to go. Still invite your friends and invite your friends. Share the link to everyone around you. Share the link with everyone around you. Share the link with everyone around you. Share the link. Share the link. All right, 2 more minutes to go, guys. 2 more minutes to go. Have any comments and all of that? Of course, you can reach out on our Telegram channel. You ask questions. All right. Have any questions? Can go to our Telegram channel to ask more questions as much as possible. Then we can give you answers. Okay. So invite, invite, invite. Okay, somebody say yes, absolutely. Google Meet, Meet today. You are just live on YouTube. Okay. Somebody's asking the Google Meet not active today. The Google Meet not active today. So if you have a question, you can just type on the comment section and we'll together. So welcome to Plan B Express, the very phenomenal place that you can take advantage of. Now, I'm going to go live right now. And so we're going to look at the market eyeball to eyeball. Oh, yes. We're going to look at the market eyeball to eyeball, okay? And see what the market has in stock for us. Eyeball to eyeball, right, ladies and gentlemen? And see what he has to offer for us tonight. All right. Eyeball to eyeball and see what it has in stock for us. Just a moment, guys. All right. I hope you can see my screen, ladies and gentlemen. If you can see my screen, and please let me know. You can see my screen quite get let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so now let's go. If you can see my screen, please just type 111 on the comment section. If you can see my screen, type 111 on the comment section. Thank you. Anyone, if you can see my screen, if you can hear me loud and clear, just type 111 on the comment section. All right, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Lovely. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. Okay, now let's go. Let's go into the market. Now, we saw the phenomenal movement of Bitcoin. A number of people have asked me, and I was saying that chances are there for Bitcoin to take a different dimension. Before we go into Bitcoin, let's look at the Mr. DXY. Yeah, we're going to be very fast tonight, and so that we can arrive at something meaningful. Right, so this is Mr. DXY. Quite a number of persons that have told about the DXY. Remember what we said last week that DXY had issues, and we had a kind of double top or sweep of liquidity over here, and so we have been battling within the region here. That until we're out of this point, there is no activities for DXY. So what do we expect to have in DXY? Of course, I'm not going to go in detail about the fundamental for the week. Of course, we all know that in the festive period, a good number of people wouldn't even identify the fact that the markets wouldn't have enough liquidity, to achieve what it ought to achieve. All right. So many friends have asked me, hey, so how do I go about this market? Should I go ahead, buy now or sell now and all of that? I said, no. The point is that the market's about buying and selling. So you have to understand the fact that it's about buying and selling. And if it's a buying and selling, you look for opportunity to actually buy. And then when the opportunity is open for you to sell, you go ahead and sell. So that is to say, we still have a kind of journey. Now, this becoming more resistance for DXY. So invariably, this week you still want to have continuation downward for DXY. Now, I've told you there's no need to struggle with the fact and reality of the market. Now, the DXY is the opposite or the negative SMT, right? So it's a divergence, into pairs of Euro USD and all the like. Now we have different thing altogether to put in Bitcoin and what do we want to see in Bitcoin. I have some of my data before I go in there because before we have, you know, the kind of disparity between the Bitcoin and the DXY. So fortunately, at a point, of course, as Bitcoin becomes so much crazily volatile and FOMO happening now, it separated itself from DXY to an extent. Of course, you have an alignment of Bitcoin with the commodity, that's the stock market and all of that. So then the simple thing here is this: DXY, if we cannot break this yellow point, then we have to continue moving down. So the direct interpretation before I go into gold, Bitcoin, and all of that is that it has a direct interpretation towards Euro USD. Now, when I say markets about buy and selling, this is a trade that we took since last week, either Monday or something, and the market have been struggling with Euro USD to get up. So what I'm going to have this week? So if we're going to have, excuse me, if we're going to have this aspect of DXY climbing more movement downward, then we should be concluding the Euro USD buying position. But there is a little challenge here. The Euro USD itself had sweep kind of liquidity over here and forming some other activities, probably returning down. So, but this is the truth. If the DXY is going to be negative this week, then you want to conclude the journey of Euro USD up until this point. But otherwise, then you're going to have Euro USD climb down again and probably returning back to this point. So now I'm not going to go into detail of breaking down the Euro USD into a lower time frame. I'm just giving you a synopsis and the dimension at which you expect the market to react to, you know, this week we're entering. Okay. So and also, of course, whatever thing you have seen happening to Euro USD is the correlation you're going to have on USD. GBP USD last week, I think I had got some buy, then continue buy over again. And so we had this right after a break of structure, change of character, as it were. So we have a return back to the quite unfortunate. That's just like a total demand zone. And then we broke another structure and then we pull back. Now, one of the things is that if the euro or DXY is going to create more kind of positive move before the pullback, that means you're looking for the GBP USD again to pull back before the massive buying. So, but of course, we need to understand that we're in a market where volumes is are now actually getting off the market to an extent. So you have to be very careful the way we go about it. Okay, so now quickly going to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is one of our main favorite kind of instrument, and we react the way also react as it were. So let me take off this. We talk about Bitcoin. Now I've been talking time without number that the market's about um, context, um, consciousness, and precision. Now, ordinarily, this is where Bitcoin ought to come back to what we call price rebalancing. But quite unfortunate, Bitcoin have not been able to get there. But the point is that are we going to make it up back? So we're looking at Bitcoin maybe up to back to 101,000. And then I was asking that, do you think and believe that Bitcoin could go and hit up to 111,000? The chances are there, but first of all, you want to see Bitcoin first to hit up to 94, $95,000. Now we're able to break above that and continue to consolidate before the next move, then that means we can go to 111,000. Now, many persons have asked me, what happened when this market was going down? We continued to sell. So imagine for anyone who felt that, okay, because Bitcoin has continued to sell and we expect the market to continue going down, perhaps have a target here. Now, quickly, let me just take off this. You see, last week, Bitcoin had been revolving around this point. Okay? You can see since on the 15th, 17, 18 of last month, Bitcoin have been revolving around this point. Come on. That's to say, if you look at Bitcoin here, 17, 18, before we come back to 2021, and Bitcoin had been within this box. Oh, yeah, this is a rejection for it, and it has been struggling within this box. Now, for instance, if you do not know how to create buy and selling, then you will just be entangled and be waiting and watching what the market about to do. So, but what we saw, and then I always tell people if you are trading Bitcoin as a day trader or intraday or swing trader, you want to make 4 hours a very close friend to yourself. All right. And so that is what it is. Many of you knew that I short Bitcoin last week. All right. And taking profit in the layer of the layer because there's still psychological level on Bitcoin to just like similar to gold. And we have the Bitcoin moving up to this point. Now, this is the issue. Now, what is Bitcoin actually respected in this point that triggered this returning back? Now we have an inversion of the effigy that happened in this dimension, and Bitcoin has run into it and creating some bounce down. Here it's a fair value gap, and this is the inversion of the fair value gap. So here we have this inversion, and then Bitcoin has traveled down, which did well, very, very well. All right. And then with the link of things now, so you want to have a Bitcoin is going to cross above that 94,000 region, 94, 94,000 region. Be able to cross that this week. Then we can now say we're going to be continuing the market, right? Continuing the market up to 99, 100,000, 101, and $111,000 before we have another major crash. But that's not a guarantee. That please take note. Most time when we're looking at the market, we say, "Oh, sure," because ordinarily, if you look at this market, you expect this market to come back to this support region, and then but it actually bounced at fair value gap after more struggle. What did it first do? It actually hit to the fair value gap and again displaced the same market up there. And so here we go. So, but you ask me, hey Felix, how can I find an entry in Bitcoin right now? Well, you probably have to go down to a lower time frame to do another segment of the market. Now, so why I have to bring up all of this is the fact that the market is about buying and selling. And I've kept this warning before. Say now that we enter into the festive season, we have to learn how to buy and sell within a jurisdiction. All right. So it's very, very important for us to do that. Now, the one I will have to pick, so Bitcoin, how do I buy? Probably if you travel back to a lower time frame, maybe you have to go to 5 minutes or 15-minute time frame to find probably when a pullback occurs. But you can see that it's still like a liquidity void. So you want to find the market and what's going to happen. Let me take off this so that we can achieve something meaningful. So what you probably want to have now for Bitcoin after this sluggish kind of move for a very long time. So you probably want to see Bitcoin maybe pull back and before buying up. That's not a guarantee, okay? So but if you go back to 5 minute time frame, probably will see that after dropping up this and then sweeping back to this and displace this, then there was an aggressive move. So Bitcoin's going to pull back, then probably you will targeting this overlap. All right. And if you can come back here, but which I doubt, 87, 89,000. But ultimately, Bitcoin target is for 94, $95,000 before you can decide if it's going to crash from there again or to continue moving up as it were. And I will tell us that if you are trading with us and trading Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, the best time to buy is usually Saturday and then of course Sunday, the noon time because of the market will have switched some level of liquidity and then continue to move up. Okay, so let me just go back up here. Okay, somebody say it's not clear, or did you say it's clear? Something like that. All right, so that's what Bitcoin. So you can find the same similar attribute, to other cryptos following like Solana and all of that. We so actually target to see Solana broke down here because after all of this liquidity off, then just takes its SI and the liquidity, and I think we have another fair value gap, which was similar to what Bitcoin too has done. And so the only little challenge that we have series of fair value gap, but if they are going to behave like Bitcoin and are gold, I'm sorry, then you may say this could be ignored. If not, you want to have to pull back into the fair value gap to find another buy, for Solana as it were. So let's quickly go to gold. Those of us who trade. So we did the same thing to gold. We did the same thing to gold going by the higher time frame, and you have a challenge now. So gold was supposed to break this, but there's a failure already here. Yeah, so we talked about the FVG. Let me just take this was analysis of last 2 weeks from down here, and then let's move in that. But yet we still have this point unmitigated. That's the danger of moving around, right? The gold. It kept returning back here and get supported, and then we have a non-mitigated order block. So, but for now, what you want to have in gold, the sweet two, it's like kind of bit of sideways move, and then before returning back up. But the truth is that once you have them taken out this, gold is still very delicate. All right. Um, so that's one of the things we have the right tool. We always recommend for people to work out modality things that will help you reduce the stress. So let me just share here. So we'll go here. All right, just a moment. Okay, something like this. Okay, So we have, you can see Bitcoin reaction here. Now, so most time I tell friends that you actually need the power of leverage in the market. Never mind, I put this here because of the fair value gap. And of course, after a long inducement, and then we have this low being swept. So now, if gold's going to be obeying some level of price action, then you should have a pullback into this fair value gap. Even though we have it a very broad one, and then probably return back to this fair value gap or having an overlap with this resistance that are probably going to form its support right now. Okay, so probably have the market return back to $90,000 or have to hit it over here. It's about 90,000 up to 9,750 bucks. Or we have a direct movement up here. Right? So these are the things that many persons, when they come, you have missed this. What am I expected to do? You wait for a pullback. Okay. So now this phenomena is that we're waiting for gold. Right. So look at gold itself again. Many of you, if you're my student, we know we trade power of three a lot on the market with less stress. All right, we trade the power of three a lot, whereby we can find an entry. So this is a very powerful power of three on 1 hour time frame. We could actually do on 15-minute time frame. So, ladies and gentlemen, so what do you want to have? Like I said, gold probably for this week, push down a little, right? Probably to bounce on here. Remember, we say we have very terrible other block down here. And gold is going to break this. You can see the clear picture, right? Gold is going to break this support because this was another block that was mitigated. And then we continue to revolve around. Now we have a sign of weakness, that is low liquidity, that the market could not break this swing high. Then we have a failed drop. And apart from this failed drop, this is a sweep of a buy side liquidity. And so if you look at it here, let's go this way. Yeah, so we have this. Sorry, just a moment. So that's one of the fear and the danger of gold. But once you're able to return back here and you got a bounce, probably we'll be finding another entry, but returning the market back to 170, 4165, 4171 or something, then probably before you can have a ban. So it's not out of place that on 4 hours we're still bullish for gold. And so, but you want to have a playbook where it has to consolidate over here or tap into this point, and you want to have an aggressive move to break the structure. Without that, it's going to be very, very problematic. If you come down here, begin to struggle here, you think about feel this, that means you still have a point here that gold will want to return back to, which is here. Okay, so you have to be very vigilant if you're buying or selling gold right now, or you have the intention of looking for a buy or sell. You have to watch the market from the two sides of the coin. I'm not going deeper into this analysis just to show you opportunity and how this market can actually be attended to. The same way Bitcoin has the similar stuff, you can see that. And other currency too, we have similar thing. So you can see the Euro USD. If if what happened, so you can see if the market of I'm sure many of my students must have seen something. So if the DXY is going to maintain some permutation of, so you could see this break of structure. So that means your Euro USD will actually dump back to this point, right? For you to find another entry, of course, as prompt as possible. Okay? So you want to find an entry and then this is a little kind of little fair value gap here. And then so if the market return back here as market open and have a balance, then you should be looking for a buy on Euro USD, like I've said earlier, right? So we have similar thing here, the break of structure, right? Then we actually have some kind of level of overlap, okay? And from here, then we have some kind of overlap, and probably looking at this last point, which is this is the demand zone too. Now, many do not understand what demand zone is all about. Demand is a point at which the market have an aggressive rally because of response of market maker, and then you have a demand zone, right? And so, if that is the case, you want to have Euro USD bands. If not, then it's going to be very, very crazy. Now, because of the way the Euro GBP or DXY will be pumping, and then why Euro USD will be dumping. So I probably wouldn't have time to open some of those um, other instruments. One of the advantages is you are trading and then investing. A very good important thing. So you buy into coin, you hold, market moves, you sell, you buy again, you balancing your helps a lot. And that's the thing about the market right now. So those of us who are actively trading the market, you should have in-depth understanding of what we're actually trading. Okay, and which other one? I probably wouldn't go to. Those of you who are on the Plan B Express cash flow solution. So I was doing more analysis on V10, that's volatility, and the whole thing was like playing and was not going to play out, but eventually, once the point area of interest is properly gotten, then you understand what you're doing per time, then it's going to deliver whatever thing you imagine. But you can try our faith because there's so much that we probably will not be able to understand. So as it is, the market overview, I always tell people you must look at it from the higher time frame and answer three questions. Why? Oh, sorry. Where, why, and when. Precision. And you're going to work with it. And I think everything that has to do with it, just like what we said, a trend or support level or resistance make more sense when you have minimum of three touch points. The whole summary of what you are doing in the market is that the market is fractals, the price is fractals. It all starts from what I call liquidity areas, liquidity areas, right? Liquidity sweep, okay? Liquid liquidity sweep, and then price action. So if you have that, you want to find market liquidity. We have external liquidity. We have internal, like say side by side liquidity. So which is similar to this now, right? But even if this market's going to end up breaking this low, we still need to be very careful because it could leave an imbalance behind. And once you leave an imbalance behind, that's a kind of what's going to hold the trigger when the market return back there. Because if you break this, so if you break this, that's going to be phenomenal. That's the truth. Because why? In this market, remember, of course, I'm in 4 hours. This is sweep of liquidity, right? And then you need to have a breakout structure. So if you break out this structure, then returning back, target the FED. That means if this structure is broken and it's not supported, and that's going to be very crazy because why? At the point, you're going to have something seated here called a fair value gap. And if this low is taken out, When we rebounds, that means this is going to be where the massive sell will happen from. So pay attention to all of this. But if the market could not happen, then you have a hitch on this demand zone, for instance, and then you can have a rally back, and that's going to make a whole lot of sense. It's very important that you identify both up and down of where you anticipate the market to actually move to. Then it will give you very perfect edge, not to think irrationally, not to respond to the market, and then reacting every time the market takes certain move. All right. So it's very, very important. And so we have to understand this fact in trading and of course managing our trading. Very important. So at a liquidity area, when you sweep, and we have what? Sorry, area get sweep, then we would love to look at price action, which has to do with structure right now. So once that happens, then you're waiting for it to react to this point, and that's going to be a massive. So, all right. So, for gold, we're bullish, and for us, we're still bullish, but we need to break out of this point to create a new journey, and then targeting here ultimate point. Um, yes, our ultimate point here for us to now totally say we're breaking out of this siege for a very long time, right? Okay, let me check. We saw some persons and asking some question. All right, um, so that's that about gold. Then the stock. Most of us are not buying stock. This is the time to actually buy enough stock, right? Because after dividend shared, right? So definitely you should have some reactions uh, of the stock market, as it were. Okay, and then I may not be able to take so many kind of um, stock that we should ought to be looking out for. Foreign stock, I think that was a stock I was trying to call out. Perhaps when I remember, I'll post it on the cash flow solution group so that we can have access to it. Was this one trying to get over here? Okay, the stock market. Of course, many of us see what's happening with the Nigerian stock exchange, massive, and much money have been made. Right? To bring out this. Uh, uh, let's go. Okay, so let's forget I say Bitcoin target. That means almost hitting the target, 94, $95,000. Mm, that's the metrics. Sorry, I need to bring out the materials here. Okay, so the Bitcoin journey started returning back. And then, okay, 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 okay. Okay, so I think if you find, you'll see, oh, all right, so you can see that I think I have some level of, can I call it psychological level? So the Bitcoin is able to break above that. That's 94, I'd say. Then the journey to that 107, 106 to 111 is above here. 111,000 will be visible. Because if you look at it right now, even on a daily time frame, you have this, and then you have a brief structure, and then this is back to the origin, and then this market, if it's going to close bullish, right, that's not going to be palatable. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I think this is so far tonight. So you're looking at what's it called? Euro USD for a buy, or for a pushback, the point where it's important for me, then you look for a buy. Then, so where's this one? Okay, so you can see this was clear enough, right? Then you have this break of structure, and it's going to pull back massively or just overlap. Then you want to take advantage of that. All right. So market is what it is, and then price is factors. I think I've done justice to some of those instruments, so you can relate with other instruments irrespective of the instrument, and that's going to make a lot of things more easier and highly leveraged because of the entry point of the market. This will happen last week, and so we're waiting for the close and open this week. It's risky to buy in too many tokens right now. Especially some of those tokens you're not sure, do not know the capacity. Okay, let me move up here. Okay, okay, okay. All right, so I think we've done Noble, and we're just looking for a way to still maximize the movement of the market and to make money. So remember, we said the market's all about the liquidity areas, liquidity sweep, and price action. So there's so many things around price action. It's not just a textbook kind of format people always look out for, right? It's a lot of layer by layer of the activities. Okay. All right. So now let me quickly have a good news for some of us tonight. Now, those of you who are still struggling and then you're thinking of how you're going to get along with your trading opportunity. The good news I have for us tonight is that we have a promo ongoing right now, and I think I want to familiarize us with things on our schedule. All right, so let me just go quickly, go quickly. All right, so this is the promo that's going on right now. What's this promo all about? We have 50% offer on Plan B Express Cash Flow Solution Club, yearly subscription, and also 6 month subscription. That is, if you're subscribing for yearly, so that's 50% discount that start today, and I think it's for a period of 1 week. So you have the whole week to yourself, all right? And you're subscribing $75 for a year, and then $50 for 6 months. Then the quarterly remain the same, and then the monthly remain the same. Right? The Felix Inner Code also have 50% off, paying 375 instead of 750 yearly. Okay, so now please get used to some of these things I'm going to show us right now. Of course, we know we have on Sunday where we do our market review and update, and then so 1 hour just to interact with investment diversification. Now, going to be Monday, so tomorrow you can still join us on live on YouTube, and just 1 hour, 11 to 12 noon on Monday, every Monday, so you can connect. Talking about passive investing diversification. Now, when we talk about this passive investing diversification, it's not about investing to one third party, and then so we're talking about buying into different assets, all right, crypto, stock, and different assets. One of the unique things that's happening now in the industry of trading, like forex trading, is the aspect of copy trading, hands-free copy trading strategy. All right, and then you can build and make a lot of money. And then I was interacting with someone today, and he never knew that okay, the money he had can actually be withdrawn. All right. So what we're saying is this: investing on different opportunity, buying to stocks, all right? Some idle fund can be on treasury bill and stuff like that, just to identify what exactly is our issue about investing. It's because we don't pay attention. So we have opportunity for copy trading, phenomenal. It's going to be massive, but of course, some of those solutions may be limited if you're not a subscriber. All right, so we have the investing diversification, buying of coin and hold, buying stock and hold. And no matter how bad the market is, we always find buying opportunity. All right. So then we have the live, so VIP trading session. Of course, that's Tuesday. That should be 8:30 a.m. to probably 10 a.m. or whatever. So that's every Tuesday, and that's strictly on Google Meet. So if you are in Plan B Express, uh, um, Capital Exchange Group, or your Plan B Express Cash Flow Solution Club, or your inner code Tuesdays for only subscribe and register member. Okay. Then we have Wednesday, it's going to be career trading skills, where I'll have to show you my entry model, how not detailed, but just to show you how do I find a trade and where do I enter the trade from and how do I manage my trade. Okay. So that should be Tuesday, 10 a.m. 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Understanding social capital and affiliate system for residual income. Then 10 to 11 to 12 every Friday on YouTube. And so why I have to show us all of this because they have a lot of opportunity that people are not maximizing. We have so many things right now that are massively happening that a lot of people are not taking advantage of. So if you are not yet taking advantage of opportunity, like I showed example of what we have in Solid, and in less than a month, I think it has done to 19 to 20%, and it has not even ended a period and all of that. So is the market actually the same all the time? So the time is going to come probably when we enter into January, February, and then it's always very weak. And that's the time confidence can actually destroy more people. Okay? So those are the things that we have for you tonight. And so some stock recommendation. Remember, if you're on our free general group, you probably only have one signal in a week. Monday, right? Can be Tuesday, but Mondays preferably. That once one signal is dropped, we're done. And then we face every subscriber member. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's so far we have for you tonight. And this is going to help you. And those of you who are in our call, so get ready, 1 a.m. And one of the things about the market is that your weekend, the beginning of the week, is very important for you. And so don't joke with how to begin the week, and so that you know what to leverage on. I'm not talking about to scam, funny scheme. I'm talking about real value exchange. So week beginning is the best time to ascertain some kind of journey, and then you can make massive money. All right. So thank you very much tonight. If you have any question, you can type on comment section should you have. And then if you do not have, yours truly, this is what we have tonight. Thank you very much, and you'll have a nice time.